So I woke up this morning and I checked my YouTube comments to find that someone had said, man, it's too bad that someone flagged one of your videos for hate speech. And I was like, what are you talking about? My videos aren't flagged. But I went back out to like my main list of videos, and sure enough, one was entirely gone. I logged in to YouTube on my computer to get this message that I had to acknowledge, which says this: "We encourage free speech and defend everyone's right to express their points of view even if unpopular. But we don't permit hate speech. Hate speech refers to content that promotes hatred or violence against members of a protected group, race or ethnic origin, religion, disability, gender, age, veteran status, and sexual orientation, gender identity. Sometimes there's a fine line between what is and what is not considered hate speech. If you're not sure whether or not your content crosses the line, don't post it." Well, YouTube, it looks like you and I have different opinions about hate speech. Are you going to pull this video down too?
How do you know what's good for me? That's my opinion! I got you.
Yeah, I will defend my brothers, I will defend the weak. I will pursue and fight evil so others may sleep. I am the sheepdog, protecting the night. Wolf hunters unite, bring it on. It's time to fight.
The video in question that they were referring to in the comments was about a cop being disciplined for misgendering a driver. I don't even know if misgendering is actually a word, but that's the video in question. Don't leave this video just now, but I will drop a description with a link to the video on my website, MikeTheCop.tv, for you to go watch for yourself if you hadn't seen it on YouTube before they deleted it. Let's get this out of the way. Let me be abundantly clear. I fully understand that YouTube is not my company and they make the rules. I have to play by their rules. Their platform, they decide what gets to go on it and what doesn't. Not complaining, not upset that that's the case. I fully understand that. When I signed up for a YouTube account, when I signed up to go ahead and play ads on my videos, everything else that I'm doing, I keep clicking these boxes that say I agree, and there's a lot of small text, right, that you'd have to scroll through. All of the details of that are in there, and I agree. 2 thumbs up, YouTube. Do your thing. But nevertheless, I do believe there are some valuable and objective lessons to learn from the situation I have found myself in. From a bird's eye view, it would seem to me, and I'm sure to many of you, that in today's culture war of common sense versus general snowflakery, that there is this false notion, this contradictory idea that tolerance equals agreement. Nothing could be further from the truth. This country was built on diversity, on tolerance. We have all kinds of people groups that live here and live together with one another with all kinds of disagreements. That's the idea. But to confuse tolerance with agreement is a terrible mistake in logic, in reason. In other words, in these SJW parts of the universe, if you say something that they disagree with, while they proclaim to want a world full of tolerance, they suddenly become offended. And there are tons of examples of why that is completely hypocritical and terribly and sadly ironic. But that's not what this video is about. Perhaps I will, if YouTube doesn't deactivate my account, talk about that later. Listen, tolerating others doesn't require that I agree with them on everything. This is a very simple concept to understand. And the reason that SJW type folks will buck against that is because it would make most of their arguments that they have completely invalid. And so they have to ignore that common sense, or they have to dodge it, they have to divert away from it, because to accept it would mean that they would actually just have to like get up and go to work and live a happy normal life like, you know, regular people. Regular people who understand that other regular people are going to have different opinions on other regular topics than they have. And I mean, how would they find meaning in their life if they didn't have something to be offended by that day?
Here's a water for you.
I don't drink out of plastic. Why would you not know that?
Let's examine if YouTube actually lives up to its own standards in this case. I get it. They have the right to delete it if they deem it hate speech. But is what they define actually applicable in this situation? Not only do they allow free speech, they encourage it.
You can do it!
even if it's unpopular, which I suppose a cop trying to talk common sense on YouTube isn't necessarily going to be super popular, unless you're Officer 401 or FuzzFam Vlogs. I don't know who gets to make these decisions at YouTube. I certainly hope that just because someone is a hater against me or against the police in general, that they can't just flag a video and then it automatically gets deleted. I would have guessed that someone has to review that. I have no idea what that process is. It's probably in that small print I was mentioning earlier that I clicked a box that I said I'm okay with. But let's be real about free speech. Take me for an example. I'm a white Christian cop. So you think I could go find videos on YouTube that were anti-white, anti-Christian, anti-cop? I'm guessing I can. If I just flagged it, would it just get taken down? I don't know. And I thought about doing an experiment where I would actually go through and try to flag things and see if they came down. But that's exactly my point. Just because I would find something to be offensive doesn't mean that I need to spend my time reporting it and getting all butthurt about it and trying to get it taken down.
I really want you to have a great life.
You're assuming my life isn't good enough the way it is? How dare you?
Quite honestly, I recognize that people are going to disagree with me. Even cops might disagree with me about certain topics. That's okay. It's going to be okay. Continuing on, what constitutes hate speech for YouTube? I've got the speech part down. We all know I said something in the video, but was hate a part of this? It defines hate speech as content that promotes hatred or violence against members of a protected group. And now that I think about it, how do you protect feelings? How do you protect feelings when someone has a different opinion than you? Can you be protected? Is that a thing? Looking to the dictionary for a definition of what hatred is, it says it's extreme dislike or disgust, or ill will or resentment. What did I actually say in that video? Hopefully I can get away with playing a clip of it in this video without this video being hate speech and taken down. Check it out. I don't know if maybe there was a legitimate rudeness or disrespect or some type of conversation in which there was some type of blatant harm intended or caused. I agree with that. Treat people equally. If you speed on the street and get pulled over, whether you're male, female, naked mole rat, a really hairy bear, whatever you are, don't speed and you won't get a ticket. And that's how cops are treating you equally. So I don't want there to be any intentional mistreatment of anyone. And I want people who are violating the law to be treated equally under the law. So hateful. Not only hatred, but violence as an option on the table here, okay? What is violence? Definition: the use of physical force so as to injure, abuse, damage, or destroy. I certainly did not and do not advocate violence toward any group, unless that group is someone trying to rob me or my family or harm somebody else or whatever, somebody else's family. You know what? Come to think of it, I do advocate violence against turds, against bad guys. So bad guys, I guess, flag this video, and you know, maybe you're a protected group. Can you be offended? Do bad guys have the right to be offended and get my videos taken down because I say they're bad guys? Can I tell people that they shouldn't break the law? I'm sure that offends somebody. I would ask any objective person, again, check the link in the description to my website where I can play whatever the crap videos I want and see, objectively, watch it back. Did I encourage or promote hatred of any group or violence toward any group? Do I have my own opinions about things? Sure. Can people be offended by that? Sure. Does the blind guy that owns Cinnamon and Step Brothers want to come over and touch somebody's face?
Can I come over this afternoon and touch your face?
Sure.
Well, there you have it. I'm not actually complaining about YouTube and the fact that YouTube has their own rules and I got to play by them. Totally down with that. That's why I love having my own website. I love being able to have MikeTheCop.tv and put my own content up that I'm the decider of whether or not it's going to stay up or not. And that's America. Pew, pew. So YouTube, no hard feelings. If you want to claim to be tolerant, but then be intolerant of when people disagree with you, So be it. That's your right on your platform. I just think there's an opportunity to expose a little bit of inconsistency in the logic and the rules and the way they're being applied. And in this situation and many others like it, I think it's okay to take a look at how intolerant tolerance can really be. Until next time. Unless YouTube doesn't let me have a next time. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button for my channel. If you want to find me off of YouTube, you can always add me on Snapchat, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, like my Facebook page, and if you really like me, you can also check out my store or my Patreon page. Free speech! Yay!